Hey guys, it's time for another deck of the week. Now, as you can see out here, I'm trying some different this week, so tell me if you like this better than going card by card. I've seen a couple of reviewers do this. Anyways, if you could quickly see these guys, I am going to show you an Arcana deck today. These are the guys that basically they come out, you flip a coin, and depending on the result, you get different effects. Alright, let's get down to it. Start out with the Fool. This guy is a wall. He cannot be destroyed by battle, and unfortunately can't be changed to defense position by effect, but whatever. This guy, you want him to have his tails effect actually, because depending on the flip, depends on the player, but basically he can't be touched by whoever. If it's heads, you can't really affect them. If it's tails, they can't. So, what you want to do with him is get a setup, get his tails effect, and basically have one invincible monster. Moving on to Magician, my favorite Arcana. He's like a mini beat deck. I run two of them in here. And basically his effect is heads, whenever you play a spell, his attack doubles on the turn, and tails gives your opponent 500 life instead. So yeah, 1100 beater, play any spell, and then he goes up to 22, and you're like, bam, LOL. You got the Empress, two of her. Her effects are heads. When your opponent summons there, sets a monster, you can special summon one Arcana from your hand, which basically makes her the swarmer of the deck. And her tails effect is that each time your opponent normal summons a monster, you have to send one card to your hand to your grave. It's a little bit of a bad kickback for tails effect, but not too bad. I mean, her heads is what you're trying to get out of her, so hee. Anyways, move on to the Emperor, two of Force. He is an attack booster slash decreaser, I guess. Depending on flip. Heads, all Arcanas gain 500. Tails, they all lose 500. So it's going to be your main support. Have him out here. Be great for a couple fools. Just boost them up by 5. Boost everyone up by 5. They become giant beaters. You're like, yay! Get the Lovers, only one of her. Her heads effect is that she can be attributed as 2 tributes for an Arcana monster, and Tails, you can't tribute any Arcana monsters. This is good for the big guys that you'll see in a second. And yeah, you just tribute her for 2 and you're like, good for me. Plus 1600 attack is not bad for level 4. Especially with Emperor boosting up to like Cyber Dragon like stats. We got 2 Chariots. This, if you get the heads effect, becomes a Goyo Guardian. Sure doesn't have enough attack, but Goyo's banned anyway, so what do we care, it's still awesome. Heads, when this destroys a monster, you can special summon it into your side of the field, and Tails, your opponent gains control of this card. So, at worst, you're going to be giving him 1700 monster, which kind of sucks with, if you got Emperor heads effect, but like, you're going to be attack boosting, and this is an all-8 deck, so you're good. Got 2 Temperance. She's mainly used for her Creeper-like effect, that you could discard from her hand to negate battle damage, basically. And her heads and tails effects, depending on the flip, you have battle damage that whoever would take. If it's heads, then you have your battle damage. If it's tails, you have your opponent's damage. So, 24/24 is okay. Like I said, you're mainly going to be using her for her Creeper-like effect to negate damage. You got 1 Moon. 2 Tribute Monster, 28/28, nice. His effect, during your standby phase, you can special summon 1 Moon token, level 1. Tails, during each of your end phases, send 1 monster you control to your opponent. So, little flippy. I mean, use the heads effect to generate tokens, which is great for tribute. And tails, well, that's what the Fool's for. They're like, hey, here you go. Have this indestructible monster that you can't really touch. And it's 0 attack, so you just attack over it. Moving on to the big guys, we got Zoeldo. He has no TK around him. This deck doesn't really focus on it, but if it can generate enough for it, it's good. His effect is that during each end phase, you can send 2 monsters you control to grave to basically negate your opponent's next turn, just go to your next turn. So this is great for the Moon, generate tokens, shabam, Chariot, steal a monster, tribute, just grab your small guys and bring back later. It's good OTK. And your Tails effect is your opponent gets to add card to hand. Not too good, but it's from graveyard, so it's okay. In 3100 beater, you're not going to get around that. You got the last Arcana, the late ruler. I'm not running Dark in here, I don't like him as much. can only be summoned by sending 3 monsters you control to the grave. And when special summoned, heads effect, when this destroys opponent's monster in my battle, you could add 1 card from your grave to your hand. Tails, when anything targets this card, you could negate it and destroy it, and this loses 1,000 attack. So 4k attack, pretty good. Either effect you're getting is awesome. You ideally want to get Tails for Solemn Judgment, but either one's good. Non-Arcana monsters, we got Athena because all the Arcana Forces are fairies. For good effect to be able to tribute fairies to get 1 back from the grave, like say example, we got the World in the Grave. You sing on Magician. Use for effect, tribute the Magician. Get the World back from the grave. Here's your 2k guy again. What's up? Plus 2600 attack, and she deals murder damage. Nice. And last but not least, this is an all-8 deck, so we're going to be running Honest. Plus it's a fairy. Alright, spells and traps. We got 1 Valhalla. Good special summon fairies. You could start turn 1 with World or Athena or whatever. 2 Sols because this is all fairies. Nice attack booster. Got Light Barrier. It's a field spell for the Arcanas. Basically it says, during a standby phase, you flip a coin. If it's heads, you could make their effect whatever you want it to be. You could choose the heads effect or tails effect. It just goes to whatever you want it to be. It's awesome. And we got 1 Forbidden Chalice. It's good here because sometimes you will not get you good flip, even if you're a master of coin flips. And that way you could have it gain a little bit of attack until end of turn. It gets effect, and you have your beater that you get reflip back at the end next turn. Draw power, we got 2 upstarts in here. Just because we want to be able to draw a lot and boost up Magician. Got pop cycling cards back. This for new hands. And then staples, we got Dark Hole, Reborn, Trinate, and I'm opting for 2 MSTs in here. Traps. Dark Brab, stop and boom stuff. These 2 are kind of like draw power. Lucky chance you call your flip. If you call it right, then you get to draw 1. And or the Emperor, you get to draw 1 by negating its effect, so instant chalice. Finally, we got 2 beckonings and 2 roars. Test Arcana. Blah blah blah. This is the deck. Goodbye, world. Let's look at the Magician cutting. Awesome.